Greeting to our viewers and friends who have joined us on 24 Hours channel. What hot and noteworthy events have taken place today? What is special about the political and social situation, both domestically and internationally? Let's find back with us right away.
Indeed, as predicted, the year 2023 has proven to be a year full of calamities and relentless disasters, relentlessly attacking China in recent days. When floodwaters roar, crashing against mountains and bridges as if it were the end of the world. While the southern region is inundated with endless floods, the northwest region has been battling a monstrous Category 15 typhoon for the past week. The areas affected by natural disasters and floods in this country are expanding further into the northwest regions of China, causing significant damage to provinces such as Gansu and Qinghai. This morning, the situation of mountain landslides continued to claim the lives of hundreds of innocent people, along with numerous houses and apartment buildings. China's President Xi Jinping has had to upgrade the emergency response and dispatch helicopters to aid in the rescue efforts. According to official sources from China, within just 3 days of heavy rain causing floods and landslides, over 208 people have lost their lives in this country. A local official told the AP news agency, "We have collected 160 bodies from Changshan County in Gansu Province and over 60 bodies in Shuo, Qinghai. Currently, many districts and counties here are submerged in water, and our only means of transportation is by boats and canoes." The most horrifying incident occurred this morning when a flash flood, carrying mud and debris from the landslide area in the northern part of Gansu Province, struck villages and an elementary school, tragically sweeping away 24 innocent children. Rescue workers were able to recover 11 bodies of children from the mud. Several hours later, another 13 children and some teachers were rescued. Zhao, the director of China's Information and Communications Center for Natural Disasters, estimates that the number of fatalities may continue to rise as many families have reported missing loved ones who have not yet been found. The county has enhanced the construction of an early warning system for geological disasters, monitoring 173 locations with a history of geological disasters over the past decade. Furthermore, the natural disasters have also caused destruction of houses, crops, and disrupted transportation and utilities, prompting local authorities to activate the highest level of emergency flood control measures. The government of Gansu Province has deployed helicopters and professional rescue teams to heavily affected areas while providing approximately 17.5 million yuan, about $2.54 million for relief efforts. Currently, the Chinese government is urgently implementing rescue and relief measures, using hundreds of pumps to drain water from residential areas as well as railway and train facilities. Despite the mainland being hit by natural disasters and suffering from severe food shortages, Xi Jinping remains indifferent to the suffering of the people. China continues to strengthen its military presence in the South China Sea, occupying the large Trong Sa archipelago of Vietnam. The evidence is that Beijing has been conducting continuous military exercises in our territorial waters since the beginning of this month. Ladies and gentlemen, experts believe that the weak infrastructure is one of the reasons why the flooding situation in many parts of China has become even more severe. Previously, the flood situation in China last month mainly affected the provinces of Sichuan, Jiangxi, and Guangxi in the western part of the country, with significant impact on cities such as Chengdu and Leshan. Also, this morning, the meteorological agency reported that heavy rains in China may continue until the end of November this year. Xinhua News Agency today quoted Chinese Deputy Minister of Emergency Management, Chu Hockvan, as saying that the next phase could cause significant damage. The meteorological agency forecasts that heavy rains may continue to pour down in the Yangtze River Basin today. Therefore, Chinese authorities are maintaining a high-level alert. Dear valued viewers, natural disasters, catastrophes, and strange phenomena continue to occur in China, following the monstrous storm and heavy rain that struck the capital city of Beijing, the symbol of power and pride of the Communist Party of China. However, this visit from thunder and lightning seems to be unwelcome by the Communist Party and the Chinese people, as it only brings misfortune and tragedy to the mainland. Ladies and gentlemen, after the first lightning strike at 7 p.m. 2 days ago, over 100 people in Beijing lost their lives. Shortly thereafter, a second lightning strike hit the central television tower, causing it to collapse completely, injuring over 64 people and resulting in the death of 8 individuals who were working there, shocking public opinion. All the fatalities occurred within 1 hour. In 2021 alone, more than 2,200 people in China were struck and killed by lightning. Statistics show that Chinese people work outdoors more than in other countries, making them more susceptible to lightning strikes. In 2019, in the eastern region of China, there were recorded 3,203,621 lightning strikes within a 13-hour period. Meanwhile, in Beijing yesterday, after enduring heavy downpour accompanied by strong winds, thunder roared. A large bolt of lightning tore through the sky and struck the top of the central television tower in China. The lightning bolt illuminated the entire sky, with fire bursting and spreading everywhere. Tourists in Beijing were so terrified that they had to scream continuously, while Chinese netizens described the scene as if they were watching a disaster movie. The lightning striking such a crucial location is a worrisome factor for the state and the Communist Party of China. The more the lightning strikes, the more it hits dangerous spots. Perhaps the next target is the South China Sea. Some netizens on Twitter also reminded that whenever the Communist Party of China commits more offenses, strange phenomena appear. In a previous incident, when Beijing publicly organized a festival to promote the implementation of the national security law in Hong Kong. On that day, both day and night, accompanied by an extremely fierce storm, when the Chinese police arrested democracy activists like Le Xian and Chu Din, the Minqiao and Fuangdong television towers in Shanghai were immediately struck by lightning. Afterward, netizens emphasized that there is a correlation between heaven, earth, and human beings, and going against the heavenly way will surely result in retribution. Dear viewers, as we know, in the history of floods in China, most of them were caused by natural factors. However, recently there was an artificial flood of unprecedented destruction that claimed the lives of around 300,000 people. It was the flood on the Yellow River that engulfed the ancient city of Kaifeng in China in its truest sense. Water flooded into the city walls, unable to escape, submerging hundreds of thousands of people inside. Historical records show that the Yellow River is the second longest river in the country and has caused floods over 1,000 times in the past 2,000 years, resulting in the deaths of millions of people. The ancient city of Kaifeng is located on the southern bank of the Yellow River, in what is now Hubei province. Formerly, Kaifeng was one of the largest cities in the world and served as the capital of several Chinese dynasties. It has frequently been a victim of the Yellow River floods. However, until yesterday, the flood was too strong, and the city walls could no longer withstand it. Xi Jinping took decisive action, which unintentionally caused thousands of people to pay the price. A large army deliberately breached the dikes along the Yellow River to intentionally flood Kaifeng. Xi Jinping also ordered the release of the floodwaters from the Yellow River, hoping to suppress the uprising of the people against the totalitarian rule of the Communist Party of China, but instead, the floodwaters fiercely attacked the low-lying ancient city, submerging the residential areas completely unprepared. Out of a population of 378,000, only a few thousand survived. According to the study, a part of the Kaifeng city wall collapsed, causing the floodwaters to rush in and unable to escape. The floodwaters inundating Kaifeng included mud and debris, creating a deadly mixture that significantly amplified the destructive power of the Yellow River flood. The study also revealed that one person was found with a wooden plank struck through their head, and a large chunk of clay was found in another individual. At the Kaifeng city wall, the flood left a layer of thick mud, about 3 meters deep, primarily composed of silt. This demonstrates that the floodwaters were extremely extraordinary and highly devastating, possibly resulting from a violent death during the flood, with some bodies found lying on wooden beds. After the collapse, a part of the city walls seemingly prevented the floodwaters from escaping. Consequently, they inadvertently amplified the destructive force of the Yellow River flood. Eventually, the floodwaters receded from the ancient city, flowing into a visible channel in the modern landscape of Kaifeng, about 10 kilometers to the north. After the breach, the water level of the Yellow River could decrease by 10 to 15 meters. Scientists also calculated that the peak flood discharge was 360 cubic meters/s or 725 cubic meters/s, corresponding to a water level decrease of 10 or 15 meters. With an estimated water level decrease of 10 to 15 meters, the amount of water overflowing from the river accounted for approximately 32% or 64% of the total river discharge. This means a significant proportion of the Yellow River watershed swept into the ancient city almost immediately after the breach. It comes as no surprise that the Yellow River is dubbed the Sorrow of China. The water from the Yellow River is said to have burst through the dikes near the Vinchao cities in Hubei province. Due to the low-lying plains and proximity to the flood control areas, it rapidly spread throughout northern China, encompassing about 130,000 square kilometers, congesting agricultural settlements and commercial centers. After the flood, 2 million people lost their homes, and consecutive outbreaks occurred, followed by shortages of essential necessities such as medical equipment, medicines, food, and other basic supplies. Therefore, the death toll increased multiple times over.
Yes, dear viewers, that concludes today's news. We sincerely thank you and everyone who has been following our news. We wish you and your family good health and happiness. If you find it enjoyable, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon in the top right corner of the screen to not miss the latest news that we will update. For now, goodbye and see you again.